Hello and welcome back, Realty Pros. Here we are again at another Realty Talk, Thursday Realty Talk, and we are happy and excited to have a guest with us today, one of our partners from Bright MLS, and that is Mariah Jacobs. And she's going to be training us today, prospecting using Bright MLS public records. So I'm going to go ahead. Thank you, Mariah, for joining us. I'll go ahead and I will let you take over from here.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me again. Welcome and thank you for having me this afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Bright Tools for Prospecting. Today, we're going to go over some of the awesome tools within Bright MLS to find your next opportunity. Now, I do offer Bright MLS one-on-one coaching sessions. You can book a 15-minute Zoom call session with me, and that link can be found in your chat there. If you do not see a time slot listed on the calendar, feel free to reach out to me directly, and I can make some arrangements to meet with you, okay? All right, so for today's agenda, we'll be searching within Bright's public records to find our next opportunity. I'll then, of course, go over some additional Bright resources so that you can find your next opportunity. Also, if you've recently renewed your license, be sure that you update your license expiration date within Bright MLS. You can update that information at brightmls.com/update info. And then I'd like to, of course, give you some tips on prospecting. So don't stop looking for your next opportunity. You definitely want to make prospecting a part of your daily regimen. We can use the exercising analogy. You know, those who work out 3 times a year don't see the same results as those who work out 3 to 4 times a week every week. So set an appointment with yourself. Time blocking works. You, of course, want to consider recent trends and where you've had success recently. It's always good to have a plan. Revisit that plan as often as possible because trends do change quickly. Take it a targeting approach. It's all about reaching out to the right people at the right time with the right message. So let's go ahead and get started. So you should now see my Bright MLS workspace. Now, Bright offers a variety of reports that you can use to educate your seller on the market. One of the tools that you can use is the weekly market report. The weekly market report is provided to you every Tuesday, and it gives you an overview on a state level. Where can this market report be located? Under your news tab. I recommend exploring the news tab at least once a week, okay, because you're getting product updates and you're also getting a weekly market report. You'll click into the weekly market report, scroll down, and you're getting an overview of all 6 states right here, where it's giving you the new closed sales, your new purchase contract, the median days on market, your new listings. But if you want something that is catered to the state of Maryland, something that you can quickly share with your sphere on maybe LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever social platform that you're using to market yourself, you'll simply scroll down and you'll go ahead and click this full report option here. You click full report. And then what you'll do is you'll just simply scroll down until you locate Maryland. All right. And you're getting the market stats for the week ending in February 12th. Again, this report is released every Tuesday. So your next report will be released. Let's pull up the calendar. Our next report will be released on Tuesday, February 21st. It's giving you those new closed sales, your new purchase contract, and your new listings. And look at this, the scheduled showings, okay? Week ending in February 12th. You then continue to get an overview of the new closed listings, and it's giving you an overview of 2019, 2020, 2021, 22, and 2023. My goodness. Okay, so this is available to you where you can either download this or print this out. This again can be located under your news tab, and then you'll select weekly market report. Now let's get back to our main screen here. We're going to click Bright. And we're now back on our workspace here. Now some tools that you can use to prospect. You can use the hot sheet tool. The hot sheet tool is a great tool to use if you have a particular neighborhood that you are farming in, okay? A hot sheet is a favorite search. It's a shortcut to your favorite search. You can create up to 25 hot sheets. When you create your hot sheet, you can run your search for as far as the last 7 days, 3 days, today, 24 hours. And this custom option here allows you to run it as far as the last 30 days. How do you create a hot sheet? You'll click this manage option here. Okay. And as you see here, these are all of your hot sheets. On the right-hand side, you can move your hot sheets up or down based on the view that you want them. You then add a new hot sheet here. You can rename a hot sheet, and you can also edit the criteria. To create a new hot sheet, you'll just go ahead and click the add option. What type of property are we looking for? We're going to go ahead and change this drop down to residential sale because we are looking to farm for active properties. Well, excuse me, not active properties, maybe some canceled and expired listings. So we're going to go ahead and go with residential. All right. Now we can either name our hot sheet, either the name of the neighborhood, the specific property type, whatever the specifics is for that hot sheet that you're creating, you can name it that. So let's maybe just name this one Largo, Maryland. Okay. And click save. Okay. We just named our hot sheet. We did not add the criteria. To add the criteria to that hot sheet, you want to just simply scroll down. We have Largo, Maryland selected. To add that criteria to prospect, we're going to go ahead and click edit criteria. All right. So my focus for the Largo, Maryland area, I'm going to go ahead and focus on canceled and expired listings. Okay. I'm not adding in a structure type. I'm not adding in a price range. Now, if you are working with maybe a buyer that is not tech savvy, you can absolutely select coming soon and active, the structure type, and the price range, and beds and baths. It's totally up to you. You can use hot sheets with your buyer or, of course, with prospecting. All right, now below here, we, of course, want to select an area because right now we have only selected expired and canceled listings. Okay. So if we are prospecting in the Largo area where it says Postal City, we're going to go ahead and type in Largo, and we have Largo, Maryland selected here. You want to always select an area because if you're not selecting an area, you are searching amongst Bright MLS entire marketplace. Bright MLS marketplace is amongst 6 states. That is Maryland, DC, Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. We're going to go ahead and click save. We've just successfully created a new hot sheet to prospect with, right? How do we run that search? We're going to go ahead and click the Bright logo in our upper left-hand corner. Okay. Now, if we want to run that search for maybe the last 30 days, click your drop down first, select custom. You'll then locate the hot sheet that you created. We're going to go ahead and focus on Largo, Maryland. We'll then select our calendar here, and we're going to do the last 30 days, which was January 17th, and then select run. So based on the last 30 days within Largo, Maryland, there are no canceled or expired listings. Okay. Now I'm going to click my, let's get out of here. Let's try to run another one of my searches here. Let's maybe run my Calvert County search. I'm not sure what the criteria is. We have it for the last 7 days. Oh, 1 second. Looks like we have a question. How would you revisit those steps? Are you referring to how to create the hot sheet?
Yes, please.
All right. So how to create the hot sheet, you just click your manage option here. Then if you want to create a new one, you select this add one option here. If you want to edit the criteria, you locate the name of the hot sheet and select edit criteria. All right. So if we want to, let's try to run the other search here. I'm going to try to run my Calvert County. So I have it set to the last 7 days. Let's see what I have set for Calvert County. All right. So these are expired and canceled listings in the Calvert County area based on that criteria I've selected. Now, anytime that you are looking at these types of listings, you want to always take a look at the listing in the Agent 360 view. This listing is in the Agent Full view. Why am I recommending Agent 360? Let's change it to Agent 360. Your Agent 360 view is your one-stop shop. You're not only getting the previous listing profile page, you're getting access to the public records, tax history, sales and mortgage information, if it's in a flood zone, and you also get the history of the listing. And looking at the history of the listing is very important because, say for instance, we ran this search in the last 30 days, this here will tell you if that listing was actually relisted and active. All right, so it looks like this listing was canceled back on February 10th. Okay. So let's click that Bright logo. Are there any questions on hot sheets? Let me know if I'm going too fast or I need to go a little bit faster. Everyone all right? Okay. All right. You also have Market Watch. Market Watch is another tool that you can use. So with Market Watch, you can, of course, get a bird's eye view of exactly what's going on within the market based on your property type. And you can run these searches for as far as the last 7 days. This Market Watch is set, my Market Watch is set to a few counties. All right, definitely. I will slow it down for sure. So the Market Watch is set to a few counties. This is more so of a bird's eye view as to maybe the targeted areas that you're working in. You can use Market Watch when you are working with a buyer or a seller, excuse me, when you're looking to prospect. How do you set these areas here to pull in this information? You click this manage option here. As you see here, I have my Market Watch set to 5 counties. You of course can add in a structure type and a price range, but with that Market Watch, I think it's best to use it for more so of a bird's eye view to get an overview of all maybe those designated areas that you're working in. So I've selected those 5 counties and I selected save here. But what I want to show you here is based on those 5 counties in the last 24 hours, there has been 11 canceled and 11 expired listings. If you click on the canceled option here, it's going to show you all those listings in those 5 counties that I've selected. Okay. And then of course, again, if you look into these listings, you want to, of course, be sure that you look at the listings in the Agent 360 view because it is our one-stop shop. Okay.
Mariah.
Yes.
Okay. And so is that set to a certain time period, that Market Watch? Did you set like the other one where you can, last 24 hours? Okay.
Yeah, so mine is 24 hours, but you can run this for as far as the last 7 days.
Okay.
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 All right. So these are great widgets that you can use. Keep in mind these widgets, you can move them around. I'm not sure if everyone has maybe hot sheets and Market Watch at the top, but you can definitely move these around to your desire, okay? All right, so far we've gone over the news tab that kind of gives you a bird's eye view as to what's going on a state level. You have your Market Watch, which kind of gives you a blanketed overview of what's going on within your designated markets. I've set these on a county level. Your hot sheets, that is a particular save search, it's a shortcut that can be ran as far as the last 30 days. Okay.
So the Market Watch is not a saved search. The hot sheet we set up ourselves, correct? And
yes, you can set both of these up yourself.
Okay, so what is then, I guess, the purpose of what's the difference, I guess, is the question.
So your hot sheet is more so a targeted approach, more so very specific search, whereas your Market Watch, it's just kind of like a quick, basically a bird's eye view on those areas that you work in, you mainly do your business in.
Okay, and then you're able to, from that though, Market Watch, because you have selected specific areas, you're able, because this information for the Market Watch is based on the specific areas that you have selected. And from there, you're able to then get, so if, for instance, if you wanted to prospect expires and cancels, you're able then to get from there that those that have expired and or canceled, and set a time frame for when those expires and cancels occurred.
So yeah, so you can run by maybe a property type. So right now we got our residential sale for the last 24 hours. And based on those counties, those 5 counties that I've selected, this is the bird's eye view of what's going on all status types. Of course, when you change your drop down, those numbers, of course, are going to increase. So right now, like the last 7 days in those 5 counties, there's been 34 canceled and 23 expired. And then, of course, you can click into these listings to see what's going on. I always, again, recommend looking at it in the Agent 360 view to kind of see exactly what's going on. So this one expired yesterday.
Okay.
Yep.
But just because it expired and or canceled does not mean that it is not, again, active, correct?
So this is where you'll see if it's active again. And this one hasn't been relisted yet.
Okay.
Just yet. But if it has been relisted, it's definitely going to show in this history bar here. Let me see if I can actually find you a good example. So like this one here, sometimes it gets a little weird. So right here we have it was expired on the 15th. And then as you see here, it says final close price. So this is stuff that you need to pay attention to, because you never know. Sometimes agents will maybe, if it's expired, of course, that contract has expired, but they maybe relisted the listing in some cases. I'm not sure what happened here, but of course, as you see here, this is not a potential that you can reach out to based on this history here. So that's why I always recommend looking at the history tab when you're looking at these listings, because the status may have changed within that 30-day range.
Right. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So we're going to click that Bright logo there. All right. So another tool that you can, of course, see exactly what's going on within the market would be the Industry Watch. Okay. So we're going to click into Industry Watch really quickly. So Industry Watch will give you an overview as to how to set the right price based on the zip code of your listing. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and click this drop down here. We're going to take a look at Prince George's County. Okay. And we are going to go ahead and look at Q4. We're going to click View Report. Now, this is, of course, something that you can use once you get that listing opportunity. So as you see here, it's giving you the median sales price, the average sales price. This is for Q4. Okay. How many houses were for sale? All right. How many closed sales? Okay. But if you scroll down here, let's zoom in. It's giving the median sales price based on a zip code level. Okay. This is some good information that, of course, that you can use and present and support your set list price. This is actually not included in the presentation, but I just wanted to make sure you guys knew it was here.
So you mentioned Q4. What is Q4?
So that was the last 3 months of last year.
Quarter.
Yeah, quarter.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So I'm going to close that out. Just had to add that little razzle dazzle there. All right. So the main focus today is using Bright MLS public records to prospect, right? So there's 2 ways that you can access public records. You can either select this public records option here, or click the search menu here and select public records. Now, always keep in mind, you have these quick links here. These are the most commonly used tools when using Bright MLS. Most subscribers literally jump right in and start completing residential sales searches. And that's also available here. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and jump into public records here. So anytime that you're prospecting, you, of course, want to farm in a particular area. Now, unfortunately, under the public records, the subdivision neighborhood option actually does not pre-populate. All right. So one way you can kind of set your targeted area, we can maybe go by zip code. So I'm going to add in a zip code here. We're going to do 20774. So we're farming in this particular area, right? But if we want to set it on a neighborhood level, we're going to jump into the map after we add our criteria as to what we're looking for, okay? So we're going to come down here and we're going to select a property class. We are looking for residential homes. So we're going to select property class, residential. Res type, so this is the structure type. More so, are we looking for mainly in this area? Is it more so single family or cluster townhomes? I'm going to go with cluster townhomes. All right, so then we're going to scroll down and our focus again is to, not again, but our focus is to find owner occupied homes. And you have this filter here. You have owner occupied. You select this drop down and you can select yes. Of course, if you're looking for renters, you would select no. We're going to go ahead and click yes. Now, one thing you always should keep an eye on is your live count when you are searching within Bright MLS, whether it's for your buyer or a seller. Okay, you always want to keep an eye on this live count here. So my focus is to maybe find homeowners that have owned their home for at least 10 years or more. Okay, so let's do, so 10 years ago from today was February 16, 2013. Let's do 2013. Okay, so 10 years or more. Okay, so I'm going to add a negative sign behind that. Okay, if I add that plus sign, of course, that would be 2013 and anything newer. So right now we have 1,378 matches. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use the map now to kind of focus on a particular neighborhood. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on my map. Okay. And we see that cluster of properties there. We're going to click on them. All right. Now let's zoom out just a bit. You use that negative sign to zoom out. Now this is how you can kind of focus on a particular area. Okay. You can set your targeted area. I'm going to zoom in just a bit and zoom in a little bit more. Okay. So maybe we want to focus on, let's say, let's make it a very targeted list. Let's go with these 40 listings here. Okay. So we click on these 40 listings, right? We can see the homes by clicking the space here. But what you can do here is let's zoom back out. I skipped a step. Let's zoom back out. To set that cluster as our targeted area, you want to use this draw tool. It's called freehand polygon. We are going to circle this area here. Now, remember, we had 1,300 something matches. Now we've narrowed it down to those 40 matches. Now, the goal here is we need to find these homeowners, their information, right? So we're going to go ahead and click the results tab here. And look at this. We have the addresses, and then let's expand this column here. We have the owner's first and last name here. Okay. So what can we do with this information? We can export this information in a CSV format. And maybe you can put it in another database. You can maybe you have the mail stickers and the postcards. So maybe you have, all you got to do is just add the mail stickers into the printer. And I'm going to show you how to actually print these out in the format. So we're going to go ahead and select all. Okay, we've selected all 40. We're going to go ahead and click print. Okay. We are going to select owner property address. So that is going to list the owner address, the owner's name and the property address in this mail sticker. So we're going to select this, then click print to PDF. And look at that. That is already in the mailer format. All you have to do is add the mail stickers into your printer and peel and stick them onto your postcard. Okay. This is if you want to do the mailer method. We're going to go back to our results here. And I do want to just pause. Does anyone have any questions? No questions? Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and click this export option here. All right. So you have different views that you can export this information. I'm just going to select the owner mailing labels and select export. And it's going to export in a CSV format. So we're going to go ahead and click save. And you simply have those owners' information within your database. Once it loads. All right. So that's how you can get this information out of Bright MLS and do what you need to do with it. Now, maybe you're looking for telephone numbers. Okay. Let me show you a trick. Has anyone used HomeSnap before?
Someone,
Yes.
Jennifer.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So one thing, Jennifer asked, I apologize. She asked, if you use this, will we have the same people? Not exactly sure. It's a, if we use this, will we have the same people? Not
Same
exact-
people at 2. What are we comparing it to?
So customers will be bombarded with same mailing. Okay. So yeah, if we just say, for instance, everyone in the office, I guess, use this, and we just happen to select the same, criteria, then it would, I would imagine, be the same people. We would be
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
I think honestly, it's not, we can't say that everyone's going to, of course, have the same search results, because also you have methods here where you jump into that criteria tab. I have methods where sometimes you can actually add in, you can kind of like change your search up and add how much these homeowners are paying by taxes. So you can add that in there too. But you wouldn't be able to, of course, see if your someone in your office is actually using the same search, unfortunately. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So it would be very rare, of course, because not everyone will be farming in the same area.
Right.
Okay.
Can we, because someone asked also, is it possible to do this, repeat this exercise, do this one again?
Sure. So where should I start? Should I go back to the map?
Start, I guess from the beginning when you, yeah, someone said the beginning.
All right. So we clicked into our search menu here and select public records to complete our prospecting search. And the first step that I took was selecting a targeted area here. I selected the zip code 20774. Now, when I selected this area, that gave me about 1,300, I think 74 matches. Okay. So that was quite a few matches there. What I did was I continued to add in additional criteria to kind of narrow down my search. I selected a property class because my focus is residential homes. And then mainly in this area, I actually used to live in this area. I selected row townhouses. Okay. I have a particular property type that I'm looking for. I then scroll down here and I select a recorded date. So I selected homeowners that have owned their home for 10 years or more. And I added in today's date, but I added in 2013 with a negative sign. That negative sign is looking for anything earlier than 2013, okay? Of course, if I added a plus sign, that will be looking for anything from 2013 and newer, okay? But I'm looking for 10 years or more. I then selected the owner-occupied option here because I'm looking for owner-occupied homes, but if you are looking for renters, you would go ahead and select that no option here, okay? Now, earlier I did have that 1,372 matches, but how did I get this 40 matches? I added in my criteria here, and then I selected the map. When I selected the map, I then use this draw tool here to kind of narrow down my search. So let me delete this shape, okay? I'm gonna zoom out just a bit. So as you see here, I have 1,378 matches. Now, for me to select a targeted neighborhood, I zoomed in just a bit and I focused on this one cluster here, those 40 listings. So right now we're looking at 488 of those 1,378. But if I want to focus on only these results here, you use that draw tool. Let's click that again. So it's called freehand polygon. You circle it around. And now I had that 40. So look at my results. I selected that results tab here. And I then have the owner's names here. Okay. Where I can either select all those listings and either print them out if I have those mail stickers, or I can export them if I'm looking to export them in a CSV format and maybe use it within another database. Does that kind of, does that help? Let me know if you need me to go back over that.
So, yes, okay. So two things. Number one, I believe you had mentioned, so this is how we do the mailers. I believe you had mentioned, is there a way to get contact numbers to be able to call? And
Yep, so that's the
also,
next step. We're
okay,
gonna go
well,
into HomeSnap
okay, so,
to get those numbers,
okay.
if they have the numbers.
And then you had said renters. There's no way for Bright to identify who the renter is.
So
Is
no,
there?
so it wouldn't
Okay.
have the renter's name, no.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so we got the homeowner's name, right? Maybe we want to call them. Now, the next step, I'm not gonna lie, it could be a bit tedious. But you want to, prospecting takes time. So I'm going to go ahead and open up HomeSnap. I know there was a few people that said that they use HomeSnap, which is awesome. HomeSnap is a great tool while you're out on the go. I always recommend using it. Maybe if, you're at a social event and you want to kind of connect with someone, you can invite them to HomeSnap. But on a prospecting spectrum, I would say we're going to go ahead and look this home address up. Let's see if we can find this homeowner's name, their telephone number. We're just going to copy the address and then add it into the search bar here. All right, so we're going to add in the address here. All right, so we found the homeowner's home here. Under agent actions, if you do not see contact the owner, that means HomeSnap does not have the homeowner's information. Now let's see if they have their telephone number. So we're going to scroll down. And as you see here, this homeowner's telephone number is listed, but as you see, they're on that do not call list. So I do not recommend giving this homeowner a call. Okay. But you can continue to do that. Let's move this over to each property here and just kind of do like a reference check by copying and pasting the address in there to get their homeowner's information, their telephone number. So this one here, Rudolph is also on that do not call list. Okay. But this is a great tool to use if you want to gather their telephone number and give them a call. That is not what I meant to do. Whoops. Any questions? And yes, Jasmine said you can definitely target those renters by selecting no for the owner occupied. We just wouldn't have their telephone number. All right. So let's scroll down. A lot of these homeowners are on that do not call list. Okay. So that's definitely something to know. And that's a great thing to know when you are using this reference check here to make sure that you do not call these homeowners. Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yeah, quick question.
Uh-huh.
When we got to the results section, and before we had you start over from the beginning, you showed how the addresses were out in the printable form. How did you get there?
You said, how did I get to the printable view? Andre?
Yes.
So you wanted to see how I got the listings in the mailing format? Is Andre still there?
Can you just show us how to get it in the mailing format as well as to export it? Can you kind of go over those?
Yep. So you're going to go ahead and select all those listings, and then you'll click print. You'll then click mail labels 5160. It says owner, which means the owner name will be listed as well as the property address. If you are targeting renters, you have the option here where it'll actually just say current resident and have the property address there. So I'm going to go ahead and click owner, property address, and then click print to PDF. And this is the mailer format, which allows you to, of course, just simply add in those mail stickers and peel and stick them on to your postcards. All right. Dee says the HomeSnap tools. Yes, that is a really cool feature there. I definitely recommend using it for sure. How's everyone feeling?
So this is good. Do you mind doing the one additional step of the export so that we can put it in, upload it into another document?
So to export it, I don't have a method to like uploading it, but to export it, your same steps will be to select all of them and then click export. And then you just kind of select your exporting format. I always go with the mailing labels, owner mailing labels, and select that export option, which then looks like this here, which includes, of course, the tax ID, the property address, the owner's name, and then you continue to, of course, get that additional information there. All right. Now, of course, you can edit this once you export it out based on where you're uploading it. I am not an Excel expert, but you definitely, of course, can edit your CSV to match whatever fields is required when you're uploading it to maybe another database. Everyone all right? Any other questions? All right. I'm glad you are good. Thanks, Andre. I'm glad you got that also. So as I mentioned, this is one of probably our short and sweet presentations, not too long, but you get a ton of information. So keep in mind, again, we use the public records tool, which can actually be accessed here. We went over our market watch and our hot sheets, great tools to use for farming and setting your target area as well. And then we went over our news tab that kind of gives us an overview on a state level to see exactly what's going on within the market. So that does conclude the presentation. I do want to leave some time to maybe answer any questions, concerns.
Okay, thank you, Mariah. Are there no more questions that Mariah can answer for us today?
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope this was useful. Feel free to, maybe we can do maybe a CMA presentation or working with buyers, just let me know. We can kind of add that to our calendars. Good, I'm glad, Angela. All right, good, okay. All right, so we're getting some good feedback. Everyone was quiet, I was kind of scared. Let me know though, just we can schedule something. I will send you a list of those presentations that I do offer. We can either do it in person or virtually, whatever is everyone's preference, okay?
Right.
Hey, Mariah, I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have within these particular searches, is there a way that we could like laser beam in on any foreclosures or potential short sales?
So we don't have that functionality in here.
Okay.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Yes, it would.
It definitely would be nice, but I would maybe try to, let me check HomeSnap really quick. I'm not sure if that is a part of the paid part of HomeSnap though. Let me see here. Because I do know that HomeSnap offers like different tools where you can kind of target those type of homes. We're gonna go under Explore, Status. Okay, so the heat maps. Yeah, so usually the HomeSnap Pro Plus, that is the paid version of HomeSnap. You have HomeSnap Pro included in your subscription. Okay, that would be unlocking these paid filters here. So distress probably would be maybe more so like under like the foreclosure filters. How much is that now? Okay. They have a monthly plan, and then they of course have the annual plan. Everyone will of course get a different quote. I don't know why they're giving me this quote, but everyone in your office will probably have the same quote though, more than likely. Mine might just be different because I work for Bright, but
Okay.
that'll be available within HomeSnap Pro. Unfortunately, I've paid. One of the
Cool.
questions in the chat says, what does DAR acronym mean in hot sheets? So that is for one of my other associations, that is Dulles Area Association of Realtors. And of course, I think everyone is probably a member of PGCAR. I don't have I do not support GCAR. I actually share that with Steve Hoover. So if there are any GCAR members, the in-person DC trainings, I would of course be the presenter, but anything in Maryland, Steve Hoover would present because he's a little bit further out. I'm closer to DC than he is. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mariah. So do you want to, can you share with us again what you shared at the very beginning as far as your availability for one-on-one?
Absolutely. So I do offer free Zoom call coaching sessions, and that can be booked through this link here that I'm going to add to the chat. These are 15-minute Zoom sessions, but of course, if you need more than 15 minutes, just let me know in advance so that I can kind of coordinate, or we can pick another day where I actually have less conflicts on my schedule. But those are absolutely free to you. If you want to kind of go over different features within Bright MLS, let me know. I am here.
Thank you very much.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate that. Thank you.
welcome.
Any more questions? Darlene. Yeah, okay, Darlene. Can you start?
Well, it's a
from
good
the-
thing it's recorded.
Right. So you can start from the beginning again, Darlene. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go
Definitely.
ahead. I'm going to end the recording, and
Okay.
that's fine.